Morning, guys. So I know that I've been doing a lot of training on my webinar funnel. That is my signature strategy for the Client Accelerator ecosystem. But there are a lot of students lately who have been like, Laurel, I get the mini webinar model, but I still feel like challenges are the best way to go for my audience. And I completely understand. What you will accomplish with a challenge is something completely different that you will accomplish with a mini webinar. The reason that I like mini webinars so much is because it's built to be a sales mechanism. Okay. A mini webinar is built to get those people who are ready to buy. They are sophisticated. They already know what they want. They're just not sold on whether you are going to be that person to deliver that. Okay. A challenge is built different. It's built as an educational mechanism. So if your audience is a little less sophisticated on why they should be using your mechanism or why they should be spending more time with you, then a challenge is the perfect way to go. Okay. So there are two different types of strategies, and a lot of people don't understand how to choose the strategy that's right for them. A challenge is going to take up more time, but more time is going to lead to more conversions with a less sophisticated buyer, right? So challenges are wildly profitable in not only the business space, but in the health space, in the tech space. I have one Lean on Laurel client now who's doing a challenge on how to do better trading. So I love both models. I'm just partial to the mini webinar because it takes less time and it is highly profitable without a lot of effort going into it once it's dialed in, where challenges are a little bit more difficult. But here's what I need you guys to understand is if you're going to do a challenge, you want to make the challenge funnel as simple as possible, okay? Because I have a lot of people who come to me and they're like, Laurel, how do I add the upsells? And, I want to liquidate my ad spend, and they start talking about all of that. But what I always recommend that my students do is do a trial run of just a very basic funnel, okay? Whether you're using Facebook ads or organic traffic, we're just going to simply build an opt-in page. And then these are going to be the 3 live days. I use webinar live, even though, because challenges when you're doing them live, they're kind of like webinars. So, and plus Guru doesn't have a live video thing. So these are going to be the 3 days of the challenges that are going to an application page for a phone call. Now, I know a lot of you guys are like, well, why are you going to a phone call? I want to go to a sales page. I actually talk my students into taking calls after their first challenge, just so that they can kind of know what objections people are having, so that the next challenge we can optimize these to handle those objections. A lot of times people are like, well, Laurel, my product's only, $1,000. I've been told that I don't need to get on the phone. I always tell people, get on the phone. Like, it is the easiest way to sell people. And it is the easiest way to optimize not only your challenges, but for those of you guys who are doing webinars, I tell my students the same thing. Get on the phone and sell it the first dozen times so that we can work those objections into these little pieces of content, whether that's a webinar or whether that's a challenge. Okay. So this is what the basic challenge funnel looks like. Notice I'm not liquidating the ad spend. I'm not accounting for the replays. What I want my students to do is I want them to get this basic part of the challenge funnel profitable before adding more moving parts. Because a lot of times people are like, well, I'm going to add in the replays and all that's going to make up for the people who aren't showing live. Here's the thing. If you cannot make the base funnel profitable, it's going to make it even harder once you start adding more moving parts. And so the way that I have my students do it is we build the basic funnel, opt in, and then they do the 3 days live. And then we want a certain percentage of people to fill out an application and get on the call. Okay. So I'm going to walk you guys through these benchmark metrics. Now, again, this is just the foundation funnel. Later on, we're going to go and add in the upsells. Later on, we're going to go in and add in an order bump right here, a tripwire that's going to liquidate the ad spend. But until you have mastered the basic foundational challenge funnel, it's going to make it harder for you to dial all of the other stuff in. I like to call all of the other stuff lagniappe. In Louisiana, we say lagniappe as a little something extra. So replays, emails, retargeting ads, those are all lagniappe. And people really muddy the waters when they try to implement the entire ecosystem strategy before they've gotten their basic funnel down. This is the same thing I tell people with webinar funnels. Until we can get the base webinar foundational benchmarks accomplished, we cannot move forward and do more other things. So here is what I have simulated with a $3,000 budget, okay? Because here's the thing, a lot of times people are like, well, can I do something with a $500 budget? Yes, you can, but there might not be enough traffic to make it all the way to the end of the funnel, okay? So right now, I am assuming that we're spending $2 a click and that our opt-in page is getting 1,500 visitors, okay? So you can see it up here, 1,500 visitors. Well, if 30% of those people opt in, we're looking for 20 to 30%, but I'm looking more for 30% in this situation. So that means 450 people are going to become a lead, okay? Now, what I'm looking for is 40% of those people to start the challenge, okay? Now, 40% of 450, that means that only 180 people out of the 450 who opted in, maybe 180 people, hopefully, that's the first benchmark that I'm looking for, is I want 40% of people to at least start the challenge, okay? Now, the first day, you're always gonna have more people. There are some looky-loos, there are some people that are interested, but if we can keep 60% every single day as we move through, you're going to see that we're left with 64 people actually making it to the end of the challenge and hopefully listening to your pitch for your phone call. So we're left with 6 people. If 10% of the 64 people make it to the application, that makes 6 people on a call, right? 4 people actually showing up. And then if you close 1 out of the 4, that gives you a $5,000 sale, right? So you're profiting $1,855. Now, this is the bare minimum that I'm looking for, right? Because who knows, like if we can get people onto the second day and we can get 90% of the people who showed up on day 2 to show up on day 3, we re-simulate that, right? That makes us even more profitable, okay? But I like to do almost worst case scenario. I like to look at it from a point of what do I need to break even on this test run, right? And a lot of times what you guys are doing is you're just adding too many moving parts. You're putting the replays and the emails and all, which all of that is good, but until you have this basic funnel down, meaning you have a traffic source that gets people to an opt-in page, 3 days of live training, going straight into an application and into a phone call. If we cannot break even on this base funnel, again, it is going to be harder once you start adding more moving parts. That is one of the things that I have been working really hard on over the last 2 years, is really simplifying what my students are doing, because there are so many programs out there that say that you need this and you need that and you need deadline funnels and you need all of this stuff, when really all of that stuff just adds to the overwhelm. Because here's the thing, if your offer sucks, a deadline funnel is not going to help. If your offer sucks, stuffing your funnel with emails or retargeting ads is not going to help. And so this basic test is basically testing your offer and your ability to help people understand that offer through a period of time. That is the base thing that we need to know that we are absolutely getting right. And so that is why I always start with this simple base funnel before adding all of the other things. And people are going to say, well, you know, I've done it. And cool. If you're doing what's working, keep doing what's working. But I know so many people right now are stuck because they have way too many things on their plate. Okay, so hopefully this video was helpful. Smash that like button. Leave me a comment with the biggest takeaway that you had from watching this video. And as always, I am going to let you know that if you do want to work with me on a personalized level, you can apply for my Lean on Laurel program. We are on a short waiting list right now, but you can see that I'm going to set up and help you launch your ads. And we're going to work together on optimizing them every single month. So whether you have a challenge funnel or you have a webinar funnel, okay, we are going to work together. We're going to have a one-on-one strategy call. We're going to have, I'm going to help you implement the entire discovery call funnel system, whether you have a webinar or a challenge, daily Q&A, strategy update calls, copy calls. I actually have my copywriter, Lucas Rasheshki, in right now, helping me help you guys perfect your copy on landing pages, on emails, on organic posts. We talk about it all on these copy calls. And then of course, you and I are going to jam on personal ad audits where I'm going to get inside your ads manager with you and help you optimize and scale. And then right now, as a bonus, I am adding in the setup. I will set up and launch your ads for you for the first 30 days because everyone knows the setup is the absolute hardest. And so that is going to accelerate your progress when it comes to Facebook ads. And then I'm going to help you optimize and scale them moving on. So if you're interested in that, go to adswithlaurel.com/mentorship and get on the waiting list. Once you press this button, it is going to take you to a Calendly page where you can see right now we've got no times in February. That's okay. We should have some spots opening up in March here really soon. If you are having troubles booking anything, just reach out to me directly and I will hook you up with a date to jam on a call, because we will get on a call for this program, because I do want to make sure that I can help you and run you through an assessment just like this to make sure that you are the right fit. So like I said, if you got a lot of value out of this video, smash that like button, leave me a comment telling me the biggest takeaway that you got from this video, and I'll see you guys on the next live training.